Hello everybody, I had a very good day today. Today I met Dave, Andrea and Ziggy, and of course Dave is Trinity 4. So it's really nice. They are staying probably about 10 odd miles away from here. So they house sit, and me and Jimbo went over there today and had a really nice time. It was really nice to... I've had many hangouts with Dave and Andrew over the years, we've talked, but today I met them, and yeah, it was great. And Andrea made some lovely food. That was the best apple crumble. Well, it had other things in it, but it was amazing. It was the nicest crumble I've ever had, and the actual meal was lovely as well. I had 2 lots of that because it was so lovely. It was very nice meeting Ziggy. He is adorable, and yeah, he's lovely. He's about the size of a 10-year-old, and he's actually only 7, nearly 8, but he is lovely. He's so clever, and I love little ones. And it was obviously nice meeting Dave and Andrea as well, but they are staying in a very lovely house. I love the house. The fire is in the kitchen. It's double-sided and it goes into the living room. So it's got 2 doors, and you feel, oh, it's amazing. It was so warm in there. This great big kitchen. It was lovely with this really lovely food and lovely people. It was excellent meeting them today. And so what I've done is, as I was there, poor Dave, he's talking and I'm filming him on my phone, but I've taken snippets out of our evening with them, and obviously it's not the whole conversation, because obviously we were there from 4 till about 10:30, 11 o'clock. I couldn't put all that in, could I? But these are just some snippets of our day. Had a lovely day, and yeah, brilliant day. So thank you very much, Dave, Andrea, and thank you, Jimbo, for taking me. Oh, and being there. Yeah, we had a great time. Anyway, let's watch the video. It's on a little video. I'm videoing you now. You're used to this, aren't you? How old are you now?
7 on the state.
So you're a big boy now. I've been watching you since you were a little toddler on your dad's videos. Yeah, this is such a nice fire. It's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Do you like this house?
Yep.
It's nice. And what is that?
That's just me sorting Lego. Don't mind that.
Look at all that Lego.
There's a lot of Lego. Here are the 2x4s. Here are the 2x2s. Here are the 1x2s. Here are the 1x1s.
Oh my goodness, you sorted all them out?
Yes.
Cool.
With Mom and Dad, of course.
Oh.
I'm not living so long.
We've got a hair problem. Oh, I didn't change the thing. We've got a hair problem, you and me.
But,
look at mine.
Yeah.
I've got long hair.
Look at how long mine is.
I know, you've got. I didn't know that you've got lots of little dreads in there.
Yeah.
No, come here. Give me.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for me.
Cheers.
A 1,000 times beyond anything I ever imagined possible, and I'm trying to resolve the bricks back to bricks, but it's not. It's just pulsing light. So I went and studied quantum physics to try and get a better understanding of what I'd seen. And yes, I think in a way quantum leaping makes sense, because we transition back from this slow, low vibration that is material back to something that's of a much higher frequency. But we are all these eternal beings who have come here for a daydream to kind of have an experience, possibly to grow from a soul point of view, because we're these eternal beings, and maybe we set ourselves on a challenge or a task or a mission to come in here, learn something. And that's why I say to people, flat earth matters, because we're not necessarily, the shape of the earth doesn't change your day to day, but it means that everything that we've been taught is a deception. And the deception, if I'm going to lie to you, it needs to be because it's to my benefit, you know. So I do think that there is a negative entity here.
That's what gets me, is the lying. We're so lied to. So, for instance, like salt's bad for you. No, it's good for you.
Yeah.
Sun's bad for you. No, it's good for you. Everything they tell you is bad for you is good for you.
Fat's bad for you, but no, it's actually important.
Yeah, it just goes on and on. It just,
So for me, flat Earth is like a gateway truth. It's not the most important thing because you are the center of the universe. Each of us is a universe, possibly to ourselves. With our
Explain that bit. Explain that bit. We talked about it once. You know, like when they give you the globe Earth thing, and they always say you're on top, but I could be a mile away and I'm on top.
Yeah.
You say, how does that work?
Yes. Even as a child in school, I used to say to my teacher, how is that possible? Because if I claim to be on top now and I'm in South Africa, then the people in England or somewhere else cannot be on top. You know, so that
Maybe they were always telling you it was flat. Because you're all on top.
Well, actually, what it is telling you is a hidden truth, which is that you are the center of the universe. I say that we might be multiverse. Like, you're a universe, I'm a universe, Karen's a universe, and we are all universes interacting with other universes. So there isn't a one universe, it is multiverse. And we are the center of the universe, and the sun and the moon always center on you. So your sun and moon will always center on you, mine will center on me, because we are the center of the spiral. Or the,
do you know what? I have to do a check with him. I was going to say, the sun is there. Is it there for you? Or is it over there?
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Well,
I might try that.
If it is a flat plane, and for someone else it's kind of low in the sky or high in the sky.
Well, I think it's like these, and these are the mountains, and you've got different plateaus. Like, this is a plateau, it goes up and down, but this is flat,
Yes.
but then you've got plateaus and mountains.
Yes, well, certainly if you
That's
take
what
this
I
table
think.
as the water base, and then everything that sits above the water is what we call the land and the continents and so on, and everything that's below the water is outside of our current reach. I suggest that the water level at one point was a mile lower than it is now. So that's why we've got pyramids in. And this building, like I said, is the biggest building in Europe in 1750. Each wing is 250 meters long, you know. It's 250 meters this way, 250 meters this way, and the guy says to me there's tunnels running underneath this entire site. It's a massive site if you're taking all those buildings around, right? There's tunnels under there, there's windows, there's doors, there's all these things that are way in the basement that have no place being in the basement. So has that got to do with genuine rising that we, you know, the levels have?
Don't you think it's weird that they pretend like those levels aren't there and they're living on top of it?
Yeah. And not only that, I proved that the original floors were twice as high as they are now. And what they've done is they've gone in the late 1800s and put a concrete half floor. So they've created two floors out of one.
Wow.
That I could demonstrate how I can show where these new floors have been put in to create a smaller floor. Because we have this theory that people were much bigger before the flood, before the deluge that took everything.
But I've seen a place in London where you could see on this building that the first two floors were there, and then they put another building on top of that.
Yes. But
so the first two floors were up, and then another building.
Well, think about it like this. Let's say you've lost your original ground floor, which had your kitchen and your lounge, which is that the water levels rose for a time. All the wooden beams rotted, so we lost the roofs. So when we came back, all we had was the structure without a roof. We stayed in a building called Letton Hall in Norfolk about 4 or 5 years ago now, and it was 1600s building is the original building, and it's credited to the same guy who built the Bank of England, or part of the Bank of England, right? Soames. And there's a museum to him and so on. And while we were staying there, we were there for a few months, while we were staying there, engineers from because it's a listed building, engineers from the government, whoever, they'd come to inspect the timbers of the roof. And they said, we were so surprised because the roof timbers are only 100 years old. So it plays into this theory that in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they reclaim these buildings, but in some cases there is no roof. And they have to put in a new roof. And so often in London and other places, I see these buildings that have a sort of penthouse, if you like, or a little thing that's stuck on the top to give them an extra floor above, but it doesn't match the original brickwork that's there. But there's so many buildings that have got 2-3 stories that are deep in the ground. Liverpool.
What about when they build, like you said, they build a house on top of a house?
Yeah, yeah.
That boggles me, that, because it must have petrified.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
You're not going to, like, build on the top of this house. It wouldn't be that strong, would it?
No.
So it must have petrified.
Yeah, well, possibly.
And then I found one in South America where it had like 8 floors of stilts underneath it.
Wow.
And they put the church on the top, and the church was built in the 1800s.
Wow.
And it was like there must have just been a hole there. They put the stilts in, but no one would know there would have been a hole.
And every
I think
cathedral,
that's crazy.
And every cathedral we visited, and we've gone to many now,
A deeper in the ground.
always got a crypt. And always,
Yeah, that's how they started. They used to bury the people under the church.
Yeah. Now, do you remember that series that was so popular called The Lost History of Earth by Uanon?
Right.
Very popular. And he made a lot of people like into flat earthers, really, because he was doing some really good work on mud flood buildings. And then he got to the end of his series, which was the Liverpool Cathedral, not the Catholic one, the Church of England one, because there's 2 in Liverpool. And he said, oh no, I've seen this Liverpool one, it was built in 1920 or whatever it was. Made a special effort to get up to Liverpool and go and check out this Liverpool Cathedral, and there's so much evidence of it. So I talked to one of the curators there, and I say, tell me about the downstairs. It's like 25-foot downstairs basement. But he says to me, but when you go across, and it's across this entire massive 100-meter long building, and he says, but when you go into that corner of the building, the floor just rises and rises and rises, the dirt rises and rises and rises until it eventually becomes just like a little bit of a crawl space. This is what I see all over the place, is that there is basements, but they don't, there's no logic to why you would build them in that way. I even looked at, that Downton Abbey TV show that was so popular? Well, I went and looked at the original old building that they filmed the Downton Abbey in, and if you look at the floor plan, the basement has a grander floor plan than the first floor, than the ground floor.
You mean you went to Highclere Castle?
Highclere Castle. So it's I haven't visited the site itself, but I pulled up on the internet the floor plans for the different floors, and you've got these beautiful rounded arched kind of bay windows, but that's all below ground. When we were in Letton Hall, I found evidence that they
why would they have that's always boggled me that they'd have windows under the ground.
Yeah, I've seen many of
and they haven't rotted.
Many of those. Now, people will say, oh, look, that tiny little bit of window that's sticking above the street level, that's so that they can get light. Center of your map, and then worked everything else out from there. And that's why I think that these areas, Siberia, Alaska, South America, southern New Zealand, are all at the extremities of the system. They're at the furthest points from the heat, and everything else is closest to the heat. So work on that kind of map model. As I say, I can't prove how the lights work, because they may work nothing like either the flat earther or the globe earther understands in terms of an electromagnetic torus system with flow lines. Center of your map, and then worked everything else out. And then do that. Thanks for he told you earlier he spits facts every now and again.
Yeah, you're a fat spitter.
He's a fact spitter.
How old are your children, Karen?
My daughter, my youngest one is 25, and my eldest son is 40. 40.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that, but anyway, he's 40 now.
Is everyone in Australia?
No, so Tom lives in Thatcham, he's 40. Harry, the middle one, lives in Australia, he's about 37. And Sam's 35, 36. He
So
lives
the gap
in Thatcham.
between Sam and your sons is not dissimilar to Ziizzi and his...
No, I had three. Harry and Sam are only 15 months apart.
Wow.
Oh my God, I had one in nappies and I was pregnant with another.
No, it's hard work that.
Yeah. But, yeah, there's a big gap between Sam and Ellie. They were different husbands.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably why I got a girl from 3 boys. But all my boys have had girls. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
All had girls, yeah.
Something about the DNA.
Or non-living in ways that we can't comprehend. So to make someone look like someone or come back doesn't mean he's 90 coming back. It means that he went somewhere and came back, or do you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Or it's not even him, but he's come back as with the same profile.
Yeah. Came from the same modelling factory.
Well, I think that, I can't remember Bob Marley. I think he played Nelson Mandela.
Oh, don't tell me Bob Marley didn't
Yeah.
really die.
No, he didn't.
Oh, that's one that's hard for me to let go of.
Yeah, I know, but it is hard. But they're all lies. All of them. They're all in on the game. And if they're a singer, they're an actor. If they're an actor, they're a singer. Somewhere along the line, they're playing some instrument in some band. I mean, look at Keanu Reeves. He's in a band. They're all in bands. Johnny Depp, he plays guitar. He plays with bands.
I'm willing to like have anything on the table. So I'm not completely saying no to this, but I also want to presence this is that we can tend to want to make everything a lie, and not everything is a lie.
With Trump in it, him and his child, and this Novo Ordo storm, which means like the beginning of the New Age, or the the New World Order, really, essentially. And so and there's something to that they are definitely agents of a New World Order, and they're bringing that about very quickly, and people are cheering for it, because just like they did with the CV-19, they got people to kind of cheer for the, what do they call it, warp speed, and bring it about, and then let's spend more money on protecting us from this invisible enemy. And they're going to do the same thing again to people. They won't see it coming. Even people who know about CV-19 can't. Even people who know about Flat Earth. People who know about so many things.
Well, they won't get me.
Elon, he's saving the world.
They won't get me. Elon Musk is an idiot.
But there is the possibility that these are other entities, right?
Yes, and that's why the flubber, or frubber, that's what I made a video on, is that even these AI robots that they've got, I think they're using face rubber that was invented by a guy who worked for Disney, who then went and started a company out in Tokyo. It's been a long time since I looked at this, so the name escapes me.
Do you want some help or anything?
But he starts this company where he's making these super realistic faces, and then the next thing you know, he's making AI robots that are self-talking. When initially it was him wearing the robot, and then later his wife. His wife was being the robot. They were never seen, the robot and his wife were never seen together in the same place. So it was her wearing the mask that go around the world and, oh, look at me, this robot can talk, ha, 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 kind of thing, and it's just this face rubber. So now what if a lot of the people that we see in the public eye are also wearing the face rubber? Chameleon, all of them.
Do you know what I saw the other day?
Later on, he's going to take his mask off.
Yeah.
And who would I be?
Yeah, who would you have underneath the
Who
mask?
would I be
Mel
under-
Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Oh,
Is
that's
that-
your.
You'd like him, would you?
No.
There's some truth in that.
No,
But,
there used to
yeah.
be. They used to ask you if you were Mel Gibson. Don't you remember from your passport picture?
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh,
why I said Mel
okay.
Gibson.
Yeah. Well, I like that. This is Mel Gibson who did the. No, it was the other guy. Where he basically saves the world in some of these movies like 24 or not 24, the other one, Die Hard.
That's
That's Kiefer Sutherland.
Willis,
Bruce Willis.
who's supposed to be really ill, like Michael J. Fox. They're not ill.
Right. They're just
Well,
changing
Michael J.
roles.
Fox does not have Parkinson's because he plays half a dozen other people.
Right. It's like Stevie Wonder isn't blind.
No, he's not blind either.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder's not blind.
Stevie Wonder's still young.
And JFK came back in another role.
Yeah, he came in as Carter.
I've heard that, you know. And
Do you know
the appeals
what?
of some
In
of the-
history, they're half brothers. Can you believe that? They're half brothers.
I
Well,
didn't know that.
they were each other.
Wow.
It's disgusting, as per usual. I think what it is we must be so stupid if we don't notice what they're doing. Because they are doing it.
Yeah. Well, it's like children at the theatre, you know.
Jimbo
They don't-
probably thinks, oh God, what's she on about now? Just put some moths on.
It's probably very entertaining for him.
No, because he's like, oh God, don't ask me a question.
Yeah.
I don't know about film stars and nothing like that. So.
No, but you did see the morphine,
Yeah, I did, yeah.
the morphine Trump, didn't you?
I do think that Nelson Mandela, the person that everybody in these
He-
middle class times, they all have a book, Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela. And I actually tried to, not meet him, but I went out to see him one time in London, as he came down the Mall with the Queen in a chariot and whatnot. But I think that man was not the same man that was the terrorist.
Because he
of
died when I was a
1960s.
teenager, and loads of people remember their schools having parties to remember Mandela. And I remember seeing it in my mum's kitchen that he died, and then later on we forgot, and they made him president, and he'd been dead for about 15 years.
So they probably brought in an actor.
Yes.
Who was going to fill the place of that. Whether the original Mandela was ever meant to be what the new Mandela became.
Also, Freegan
Paul
Morgan
Collins.
is what is he from?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman is what's his name from the 60s who died?
Don't forget
You know, from the
Shawshank
Big
Redemption.
Bang, and he oh my God, what's his name? Hendrix.
Oh, but Jimi Hendrix. That I can kind
And
of
he's also Lionel.
Lionel Richie?
Yeah, Lionel Richie.
That I would. Wow.
All three same person.
So,
Isn't it amazing? Because obviously he's an actor. He's can be very serious. Lionel Richie's all he's all whatever he is, and then you've got the other one. Oh, Tina Turner was a man.
is that so?
Like she had a penis in there.
Really?
Yeah, he had
And
a
Michael
penis.
Obama, it really is Michael Obama?
Don't know. I haven't done everybody.
Michelle.
To be honest, when I put things out, suddenly people might write to me and say, have a look at these two, 9.5, 9.75 times out of 10. You look at them and you think, no. And you put the pictures on the top and you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because what it is when you're actually lining up the pictures, when they are each other, it changes in when you're doing it. It all looks like a proper picture. I can't explain it. You can see the bits which are the same.
Right.
I think that's quite
I
incredible.
wonder if, like how they do with facial tracking and whatever, they measure points from the eyebrows.
They
to
only
the nose
want
and
from
all of
here when they're copying someone. They just want those bits. They don't want all this. This all changes to the character. Because that's what I think with Jimbo. He'll say, "Oh no, but he's blonde, and that one's got
That's
dark
easy.
hair."
That's
None
easy
of that
enough.
matters. It's
That's
not
easy
about.
enough to
It's
do.
this bit they want: the eyes, nose, and mouth.
Yeah, and Elvis was 2 or 3 inches shorter than Trump is claimed to be. So it's possible that
Trump's
there's
then a little bit
certain
younger than he would be. Like he'd probably be in his late 80s or 90s now, wouldn't he, Elvis?
Well, I mean, don't they do?
But then
funny
you don't know
things
how
to-
old he was
Yeah,
anyway.
don't they do funny things to extend their lives anyway?